With spring in the air and the days getting lighter, March brings a lineup of films that'll make you reach for the curtains. With sci-fi sagas, psychological thrillers, and our week-long special of vampire movies, there's plenty for everyone to sink their teeth into. As the small Alaskan town of Barrow prepares for its annual 30 Days of Night, an unwelcome visitor warns of a great and imminent danger.
They're coming.
They? Who are they?
Vampires, mate. Remember? Vampire Week. And these ones are particularly thirsty. With no way out and 30 long days before next sunrise, the community must work together to survive. Starring Josh Hartnett and Melissa George, 30 Days of Night. Bullied at school and neglected at home, young Owen spends his days plotting revenge against his tormentors. But when he meets Abby, a strange girl only seen at night, the two outcasts develop a strong friendship.
Owen, do you like me? Yeah. A lot.
Ah, young love, so sweet. Unfortunately, Abby's love bites are a bit feistier than his last girlfriend.
Abby.
Chloe Grace Moretz stars in Let Me In. Now, if there's one thing Jack Crow is good at, besides looking completely badass walking away from a burning building, it's hunting vampires. But when Master Vampire Valak arrives on the scene, Jack quickly realizes that he may have met his match.
Valak is not like the other masters I have hunted before. He's the first and most powerful.
Faced with his biggest foe yet, Jack's best hope of capturing Valak rests in a young woman once bitten by the Master. But can they hunt him down before she too turns into a blood-sucking vampire?
He's there. In the dark.
James Woods, Daniel Baldwin, and Twin Peaks legend Cheryl Lee star in John Carpenter's Vampires. A weekend of partying takes a turn for the worse, with the arrival of an unexpected visitor.
Is that what I think it is?
This is definitely not an airplane.
Turning the tables on E.T. This time it's the humans who are desperate to phone home.
It was a UFO. It abducted our friend.
Shapeshifting's all the rage these days. But don't just take our word for it.
I take people. Their voice, their shape, their look, their memories.
On a murderous path, one man will stop at nothing to reconnect with the woman he loved most. An almighty mix of sci-fi, body horror, and romantic thriller. Lifechangers guaranteed to get under your skin. When a party bus en route to the Burning Man Festival breaks down in the desert, it's not long before all hell breaks loose.
It looks like we hit something.
No, we did it. We were driving.
Ah, Sharknado's finest Tara Reid swaps killer sharks for monstrous mommies in Bus Party to Hell.
Crazy? I'll show you crazy.
Returning home from a stint in the military, Michael finds his mom has fallen for a rather dashing stranger. They always do.
Michael, this is David. David Michael.
But Michael suspects David is more than just a chiseled face.
There is a resemblance. You got him in, it kind of looks like him.
And so too do the neighbors.
Hey, Butter, how are you?
What'd she want?
She had seen this story on America's Most Wanted about this killer and that the police sketch looked just like you.
Poor Mrs. Cutter, the stepfather. And if all those killer films aren't enough for you, then take a look at what just landed. Yep, it's the 70s sci-fi sensation Battlestar Gallactica.
May I suggest we launch a welcoming committee of our own?
Complete with shiny Cylons.
We are enemies.
Robot dogs. And a lieutenant so smooth, they named a coffee shop after him.
Well, that's lucky, isn't it, Starbuck? Yeah, that's a real stroke of luck.
Okay, I made that last bit up. A classic. Catch it for the first time, or relive the journey. Bloodthirsty vampires, sci-fi shootouts, and suspense so spine-tingling you'll be reaching for the radiator. Because it's not just the scary stuff. This March on Horror.